Hey everybody! I've been watching Supernatural. Well, I've been looking up Supernatural stuff lately on Supernatural kind of binge because of the new show Winchesters. Which isn't new. It's had like 7 episodes now. 8th episode, Tom Willen's supposed to show up. You know, he was from Smallville. You know, he was Clark Kent. You know, he's Superman. He's in this show called Professionals, which comes on after um, the Winchesters. Well, I guess y'all have probably watched it by now, but excuse me, been looking up some information about it and trying to tie some of its stuff in with Supernatural. Well, first of all, there's continuity. My review of Supernatural, I like the show. It has continuity mistakes all throughout it. So why would anybody be surprised that the prequel, the Winchesters, would also have continuity mistakes? They were supposed to have some spin-offs. Any of those other spin-offs, the prequel spin-off with the Wild West with Samuel Colt, that would have been cool. That sounds like a great idea. The Wayward Sisters spin-off, if done right, would have been pretty cool. I like it. I like that idea. I like the Wayward Sisters characters, and I like the sheriff, Jody Mills, I believe. I liked her. I like those characters, so I would have liked the Wayward Sisters thing. If they did it right and didn't make it kind of like they're making this one, woke, feminist, social justice stuff like they do with Winchesters. And then I don't remember at all this Bloodlines idea, but it sounds like pretty. It sounds pretty cool. I guess I missed that season or that episode or whatever. So I don't remember it, but that sounds pretty cool. Idea of like monster families in Chicago, and there's like this police detective that investigates them. Sounds like a cool premise for a television show that can be tied in with Supernatural. You couldn't make it without Supernatural. Still sounds pretty interesting. Um, Anyway, the Winchesters from like very first episode, continuity just canon and continuity was just thrown out the window. There's going to be people that say, "Well, they're probably doing something." Yeah, there's probably either time travel shenanigans or maybe John's memory is going to get erased after they finally defeat their credo, which they better do pretty soon because I don't see the show getting a season 2. It might, but if they don't. Also, they kind of jumped like speed jump fast into the plot excuse me, of the show, and they're like drop the big bad like name on like episode 1. They had this new letter that never was introduced in previous Supernatural show where he had a key and gets to go to Men of Letters chapter house or whatever it's called, right in his own town. They kind of also decided that the Campbell family just happens to also live in Lawrence, but that would mean I hate to be this spoiler here, but if they lived in Lawrence their whole lives and he lived in Lawrence his whole lives, Lawrence, Kansas ain't that big of a town They'd have went to school together, like elementary school and like high school and whatever. So yeah. Also, what happened to his like girlfriend? I mean, that would become like a police officer in the town. And who is this gay guy that's on the show? And Hispanic, Indian, or whatever chick. I mean, who are these people? Where are they going to go? Are they going to get killed? They got to get killed because they just got to get killed. And neither one of them are necessary. I mean, the witch, yeah, maybe. But anyway, Samuel is going to be played by Tom Welling. So that might be cool. That might draw some viewers in. Maybe. But anyway, from the start, it totally like throws all kinds of continuity out the window. Like the way they meet is nothing like from Supernatural. It's a kind of some of it's the same. Um, they address like issues that weren't even issues back then. Mm, uh, and they like literally like give the characters like it seems what do you call that Mary Sue-ish type deals where it just happens to be convenient that certain things with certain characters just pop up. Uh, they John is a badass. He can jump into fights. He'll jump into fights. He's a Marine, but he like still, but still they make like Mary the hero. Like she's the real hero because she has all these hunting skills. Dude's been trained by the United States Marine Corps, and you still make him out to be like not even that great. You make him too emotional on the show. You make literally everybody on the show too emotional when they don't even need to be emotional. You like throw in a gay character which doesn't even need to be in there, and you make him gay slash bisexual or whatever, um, for apparently like literally no reason except for to have an LGBT person on the show. He's not even the best character on the show. A lot of people keep trying to say that he's supposed to be comedy relief, but he's not even that funny. So, no, he's not comedy relief. He's literally to push an LGBT agenda. That's literally all he's there for. He and maybe to give you a little bit of bonus plot stuff because like okay, there's one episode where they address PTSD, which is more of a modern day issue than something from the Vietnam days. uh, Carlos just happens to have been in the Navy. That's just real convenient, you know what I'm saying? um, just for that episode, and then it never comes up again. The whole entire reason for him to get into hunting was schools killed his family, which they bring up a few times, and that's about it. Now they bring up the fact that John's been in the Marines for 2 years, which I don't think's accurate. because on the very first episode, it got to be at least 21 years old because he's legal age to drink alcohol, and his mom literally tells him, "You're not, to me, you're as illegal as you were when you illegally joined the military." So he'd had to join the military right after high school, and he'd had to graduate before he was 18, so he'd have had to be 17. Now, 1, 2, 3 months later, maybe 4 at the max, when he turned 18. Now, that means he went to basic training and then reconnaissance school. So he's now 21. Get this: is seven, at least half, at least 3 months of 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So even if he just turned 21, we're looking at 5 years. We're looking at 4 years at max, because say he was 3 months of 17, and then he just turned 21. That would have been roughly around 4 years. Okay, so maybe he served in Vietnam for 2 years. That would be one tour of duty, but he's been in the service for at least 4. So where to get 2 years? I guess that's actually in Nam. So where was he stationed the other year? Because I'm going to assume that maybe the first year of military, he was in basic and reconnaissance school and somehow working to become a corporal, which is amazing because he got that done in 4 years. And that's just less than 4 years to become a corporal. He must have been stationed in other places because they say that he earned medals. So if only a half a year, if it took just half a year for basic training and reconnaissance training and some other trainings, it's sniper school, a few other schools, because you see that he has a marksman medal. Even in the journal, one of the medals is a marksman sharpshooters which is probably sniper school or whatnot. So he must have been on some other missions. But the only thing that somehow gives him PTSD for some reason is seeing his buddy get blown up by a mine. And he also, his job was reconnaissance. So he's obviously went to whatever reconnaissance school too. But still, we're looking at about half a year, which he may or may not have been 17 at the time. And then 18, 19, 20, 21. So he must have had another tour somewhere else for 2 years, and then a tour in Vietnam. So maybe he served 2 tours, 2 years each. And in he had a little break in between, but he didn't go home. Now, he says he's been searching the world now for answers, but he's been in Vietnam for at least 2 years. So somehow he used his military connections while he was in basic training and his first tour to travel the world, I guess. Looking for his dad. I'm not sure how that works out, but so maybe that's what he was doing. So maybe he didn't really join right after high school. Maybe he only told his mom that. And he really searched for 2 years and then joined the service. And that gives him another 2 years. But that also doesn't make sense. It makes more sense that he served two-year terms. And the idea that he hasn't had candy in 2 years is only because he hasn't had candy in 2 years since his second tour duty for 2 years in Vietnam. He probably had candy during his like break or something from his first tour to his second tour. I mean, that's possible. Yeah, but that's not the only continuity mistake that they seem to have thrown in there. Another continuity mistake is throwing the men in letters in the very first episode, which they didn't find out about the men in letters till like way down the road. Getting in fights with demons and stuff, which he wasn't even supposed to know anything about hunting until like Mary dies, because that's the whole entire premise of Supernatural. Which that would have been a pretty cool prequel too, to have John learning how to hunt after Mary to get revenge on whoever or whatever killed Mary. That would have been an interesting story to see. Him raising the kids, pretending to be a traveling salesman, and then really being a secret hunter. And then at, I think, 8, Dean finds out. And then he kind of knows. So he kind of like protects his brother, but also kind of like helps his dad a little bit. And he grows into the hunting lifestyle. But his brother doesn't grow into the hunting lifestyle as much because they're trying to protect him, from that. And that's why Sam goes his way off to college and whatnot. That would have been a good, interesting prequel to have seen how that kind of played out. That would have been nice to see. Another thing, like they throw in the name of the big bad in the very first episode. They give you these new characters, which obviously they got to get killed off, right? Because you never hear about any of these characters in the future of Supernatural. I mean, unless the witch is supposed to be blind Moses, blind Lady Moses, or whatever her name is. She's a witch in Supernatural. I'm wondering if Ada, the witch from this show, is her. That maybe. Another thing. Oh yeah, the very last episode that they've had. He got in touch with his dad through some kind of medium spirit thing. And at first it's like it didn't work. And I'm like, of course it won't work. Your dad's not dead yet. Which is true. According to supernatural lore, their dad somehow time travel jumps to the future and meets Sam and Dean Winchester, his grandkids. And he gives his grandkids the key to a bunker that's a little further away than the bunker that's directly in Lawrence. It's in Lebanon, maybe, I think, which is also in Kansas, but like town over or something, right? Anyway, but this same key that Grandpa gave Sam and Dean to the bunker is the same key now that's in this letter that John has. So, how'd that happen? Some kind of time travel shenanigans or something? So, I'm going to just. That's a good. I mean, that's a theory that somebody went through time and changed history somehow. Maybe they have to stop their Krita. I don't know. It's crazy. So now there's the the time jump thing must have either never happened, or are you trying to tell me you can contact somebody that's dead that's not dead yet, but they will be dead? What? Because his dad is not supposed to be dead. He doesn't die until the future. So how is he talking to him in the past if he's not dead until the future? Unless time travel shenanigans happened where he actually died instead of going to the future. Which now, if that's the case, then who is this mysterious guy who how he wrote a letter but and has the key but to Mendeletter's location, but some mysterious person gave it to him. I mean, could it have been Abaddon? Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe, but didn't she time jump to the future? Is we're gonna have an Abaddon or a yellow-eyed demon as our big bad for season 2, which might not even happen? I mean, seriously, what's going on here? There's been some time travel for sure. That's the only thing, the explanation that makes sense is time travel. But why would Yellow Eyes or Abaddon try to help John and Mary unless their creator are a threat to Yellow Eyes or Abaddon, and this is a time travel thing? Shucks. Just the fact that you got all this woke garbage in here, this modern day woke social justice stuff that doesn't even make sense for the time period in the Winchesters franchise. It's just not supposed to be in there. But seriously, there's some crazy shenanigans going on that's messing up the timeline. It's got to be. It's the only thing that makes sense. Where is? I mean, last time we left off, Sam and Dean were like in heaven, right? And Sam's like driving. No, Dean's driving. Baby. So the theory is that Dean's still in heaven and Sam's on Earth. So Dean is writing this down in heaven while he's on the road in heaven. Maybe. That's maybe. Maybe Dean finally decided he got tired of heaven and went to Earth. Did that time? Did did a time thing? Maybe Dean isn't really Dean, and he's like a god creature, and he's rewriting his parents' story, and what he writes in the notebook is what's coming out, and he's like Chuck was, he's writing his parents' love story, and what he writes is what's coming true, even though he's saying that he's still learning. But he told us there'll be some surprises and twists. So maybe while he's in heaven writing down the story, it's influencing the story and changing the story from how it was because of his writing it down on Earth, how he would liked it to have been, and the power of heaven's doing it. But I thought heaven had gotten destroyed, so I'm confused with that. Thought heaven was no longer like around anymore, but I guess it still is. Because I thought the void took over heaven or something of that nature. I thought maybe it lost its powers because one time Lucifer was trying. They were letting Lucifer run heaven, and like God's gone now, so like because he got killed, Chuck, probably not the real God. It's just some crazy continuity stuff that's just crazy. I don't think I even watched season 14 or season. I'm not sure about season 13 and 14. I don't remember if I watched those all the way or not, so I'm a little behind with those two. I think I've watched and have on DVD like all the way first 10 seasons, maybe 11 and 12. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to check. But I'm behind by 1 or 2 seasons, I'm pretty sure. I watched some on television, then I just got out of it because I don't like commercials. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like commercials. That's why I stopped watching. I don't watch much TV because I don't like commercials. Anyway, the point is, it's just a bunch of crazy stuff going on that just doesn't make sense. There's like anti-war going on. There's like anti-anger is bad kind of vibes going on. There's like love is good, emotions, and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. I mean, the demons aren't even as tough in this series as they were in the other series. Everybody has like a Mary Sue complex where they don't have much of character development, but they can just like kick ass real easily and pretty bad. I mean, it's the first hunt for one, and they all have this like camaraderie or whatever that they just met and they're like get along like that for some reason. That they have a little bit of a bad time getting along, and then they just suddenly just click. What the heck is up with that? Just stuff like that. There's like we have no backstories, no character developments, no nothing. We have this. I have a theory that the minute letters they had those like Lovecraftian type creatures that were gods from another parallel universe. My theory is the Krita are the spawn insect creatures of these gods, and the Krita worship the gods. One there's a female god and there's a male god, so there's a king and a queen, and the Krita are like those creatures. And the minute letters, I don't know how long they've been around, but they've probably been around since way long time ago. I have some theories about that. Maybe I'll do a video later with some theories of some other theories of supernatural theories. Like I have a theory about the void and Leviathan and the Leviathans and stuff like that. But I don't have enough time in this video to do that. So y'all want to see y'all want to hear some of my theories about supernatural? Comment down below. But anyway, let's just say that those gods created the Krita, and the Krita are trying to help those gods break through. And the Minolators have been fighting their Krita and stopping those gods from breaking through from their universe to our universe. Maybe. Possible. Maybe. What do you think? Comment down below. Anyway, so my thoughts are it's woke garbage, but it's still a good show. I mean, they're doing all kinds of social justice stuff, which I would not expect it. I expect him to do that on the CW, which is going woke and getting broke. Go woke, get broke deal. Every one of their shows is all about defy hate. Dare to defy. Defy what? And we know now love is love is love. It's the key word for LGBTQ ABCD EFG. You know what I'm saying? Everything else, even maps are now on there. So they got some continuity problems, and I'm thinking that Jensen just got paid a lot of money to try to make it, and it probably won't go past season one because there's reasons, but also I don't think the views are going to help it. And a lot of other videos I've seen have they pretty much said stuff about why they don't like the show, and a lot of it has to do with continuity stuff. My problem is it's got a lot to do with social justice, wokeism, and that kind of stuff. Uh, Continuity aside, you can explain away the continuity with like time travel or the thing I just said about Dean writing in his book. There's all kinds of reasons for the continuity to be changed, like time travel. Like Dean writing in his book is like Chuck was writing the story because Dean's in heaven. No, yeah, Dean. Right? Yeah. So there's some there's ways to change it. You could even have it all memory wiped later down the road. Excuse me. So that's a possibility. Anyway, that's my Winchesters review. I guess it's kind of woke. It's not a bad show, but they should have stuck